making sure that you actually send the right message, that takes courage. So what am I talking about? I am talking about mixed messages. Mixed messages you give to yourself, mixed messages you give to the universe, or however you want to put it, and mixed messages you give to others. Well, all of these are related to one another, and the courage part is, well, the courage part is the specificity, the clarity. Because in order to convey to others what it is you want, in order to visualize yourself what it is you want, hence why I talked about the universe as in you have a dream, you want something in the future. And well, you know, back in the days they talked about the secret. Nowadays they talk about visualization, affirmation, but it all has to do with getting that picture. You could also say it's about a vision board, but being specific. And that means no doubts whatsoever about what it is that you actually want. So I've been talking to a number of people, including my coach, and my coach said at some point, well, if I want a number of new clients, I just write down the number on a piece of paper and I don't have to do much. It just comes, you know, they come. And then someone else said, well, you know, I visualize them and I look around the room and I look them in the eyes, and I was like, oh, well, that sounds easy. And well, at some point I decided to actually, you know, visualize it, like, okay, let's look them in the eye, see what happens. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, 2 new people came forward. And then I stopped doing it. And it just within days, you know, things happened and I didn't get to talk to them again. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So we are talking about something that can work if we are clear enough. Now, I don't necessarily mean that we put something out there to the universe. But when we talk about our mind, our own brain, it's important that we tell ourselves what it is we want. If we are fearful of something, then we know. We may not know on a conscious level, but we will certainly know on a subconscious level. So this is also about what do we tell ourselves? And that's, I think, the most important message. Because if we are not clear about what it is we want, then the question is, how do we get it across to other people? And what do we actually do ourselves to make it happen? I mean, do we start something, you know, and then we stop again? Or are we actually going into detail? So if you ask me what I want to accomplish, then I can tell you, well, I see these parks in front of me. I'm standing on a hill. I see that one park with tiny houses where there are those young ones out there who, you know, who cannot really make it in the adult world. So they need a little bit more support. There's a children's hospice. And of course, there are the adults out there who also need coaching, as in, they are stuck in life, they want to get somewhere, and they are like, okay, where do I want to go to? So lots of things going on that terrain. I can tell you in detail what is going on. But here's the thing. Between now and then, what have I visualized? So I can say that I've been working very hard on getting the clarity challenge out there. So this month I have been, not the clarity challenge, the courage challenge. Sorry, I keep mixing those two up, which is the result of having done a number of clarity challenges actually. But this month, as in next Friday, I will be doing the courage challenge. So this entire month has been about me posting something to do with courage. And there's a page where you can go to register, ladylexi.com/courage challenge. So this time I've done, of course I can still do more, but I've I've worked pretty hard at making this come true. You know, there you can register for the challenge. I've got PDFs. I'm putting it all out there. I'm telling people about it. So I'm taking action because it's all nice, the secret and all. And of course, again, it's good to visualize something because then you're programming your brain for what it is you want. But it's also about taking action. I mean, if you don't do it because it's scary, then what? So the people who know me a little bit better, they know that, you know, when it comes to my own place, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And I do have a picture in my mind of where I would like to be and what it looks like, but it has been a while that I actually remembered it. And it wasn't until I was walking around here in the neighborhood and of course had talked to my coach that I realized like, oh, yeah, that's true. I've already seen a place where I would like to be. I actually have seen a place over here in the Netherlands, but I've also seen a place elsewhere in Florida. But, you know, there were so many things that made me doubt, like, do I want to be there? Things have happened over there which have disappointed me. And then, yeah, I love the lanais, but if you're not close to the lanai, oh my God, all the insect bites, and I've got tons of marks of insect bites, including from Florida, but also from other places on my legs, and I'm not waiting to get more of those. But you already hear me about 2 places. So one is actually I got to see, and last summer I actually was inside the house and it was completely inspired by everything from the United States, including those iron look buses. I must have a picture somewhere. But oh my God, that was so cool. And you know, I just was cycling there, and then this lady was standing there. So we got to talk, and then she actually was owner of the house that I had seen, and her son, and that was the house which had caught my attention first, had the other house which was on the corner. So we talked till late at night. I haven't been there yet. I don't have her phone number, and I haven't been up to walking there anymore, or going there by bike, and especially now that it's winter, you know, it's not that nice to go there. But yes, there was something about that one thing, and you know, ending up there, it really surprised me. And here's the thing, I also realized that I'm not very specific in what I want. So I do have an idea. I know what I want to do eventually. Just like I know that I love the group coaching, and it brings me a lot of knowledge and practical stuff too. I've become so much better in just writing down PDFs, recording the videos, getting frameworks which apply to that specific training. So I'm proud of what I've achieved in these last couple of months, and especially this month. And when I've been talking about courage, well, believe me, this took a lot of courage to get it, to be there. Of course, there are many more things, but you know, the question, of course, is what is that one thing that you really want? And what does it look like? And do you dare to go for it? Or are there doubts in the back of your mind that you are making the wrong decision? I mean, a lot of people say you shouldn't be in this country. It's as simple as it is. And I know that in order to make it happen, I need to do a lot of other stuff, because you can, of course, you can win the lottery. There are other things too, but I would like to go on my own merits, you know, with a strong financial basis, all those kind of things. Then you can get a temporary card, which is okay. And then, of course, I want to be close to friends and in the good climate. So The question, of course, is why don't I visualize that every day? And do I dare? And I remember when I was in Florida this year that I actually had some doubts, or last year, because of what is happening. And of, like I said, insect bites, that wasn't working for me too. Some other things had happened, which made me doubt as well. And I was like, well, it would also be nice just to be in a climate, but maybe not in a humid climate, but more where it's dry heat instead of wet heat. So, what am I telling myself? What am I throwing out there? And that's the question. So a lot of people have noticed that I basically live on Eastern time. It's just easier. Just imagine this. When we have training from Brendan Burchard, which we do have once a month, then he usually goes on till 5 in the morning. So if I would be on Dutch time, well, you figure it out. So I usually go to sleep in the morning, and then I sleep till early afternoon. If I'm, it does happen that it's also till late afternoon. It's the way it is. But regardless, it's only one step. Well, there are actually multiple steps. I mean, I do my videos in English, so there are a lot of things which tell people that I might be in the wrong country here. And I would say I agree. But when it comes to taking action, as in to go that one step further, well, I guess that, getting that website out there, I finally got ladylexi.com. So I'm taking, steps one after another. But how about if I would be more specific? Wouldn't that help me? That's the question. Now, of course, we can relate this question to my coachees too, to my clients. And quite honestly, basically everyone, well, the exceptions being there, but most of my clients at one point or another were doubting. And for some, it takes years to get where they are. And then finally, I can say, congratulations, you're where you were supposed to be. And yes, it's taken you a lot of time because you couldn't accept what happened and what you had to let go of in order to get there. And that's what people mostly fear, and that's why courage comes into play. Because in order to visualize and talk about what it is you want, you also need to let go. So in my life, a lot of things have changed. My parents are no longer around. I don't have to take care of anyone. I don't have any children. Of course, I'm a proud auntie of a number of kids, some who are truly related to me, some not, but I love all of them dearly. And now I go back and forth, and up till now it's more like once a year. I would like to make that more often. And so I do have an idea how I want to do it. And if people ask me what I want this year, then I can literally say out loud, okay, this is where I want to be. End of the year. They know. Getting back to my clients, I noticed that a number of them don't take action. Or they go from left to right, like, yeah, this is what I want. That's what they start with. And then all of a sudden, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do the other thing. Usually because of circumstances which they have no control over. There's all of a sudden, they are confronted with guidelines, people who say, oh, but if you do this, then the consequence is that. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, am I not making any mistakes? And that's why I said, not giving mixed messages, but have a message based on clarity and specificity. Oh my God, that is so scary. And that takes courage. And you know what the thing is? It actually shows in the actions that people have in daily life. So all of a sudden, things they would do when doubt comes in, they stop doing it. It's almost as if they are like, well, if I don't pay attention to it, then maybe the other person will forget and I won't be reminded. Not sure if that's true, but that's sort of what it feels like. Others, they don't get around to it, which basically means they don't make time for it, or they don't create the circumstances. And I can talk with them all I want, and they know it, but before they get there, it takes a lot of time. And of course, the question is, as coach, shouldn't I challenge people more? How far can I go and do I want to go in order to say, okay, now you're done with all this BS. You said you wanted to do this, so what's taking you? And I know the answers. I know all the answers to what they're going to say to me, what they're going to tell me. And that's the thing. And maybe that takes courage too. How much do I push people? And the thing is, you cannot force people to do the things that I know because they have told me. And yes, let's be specific about this. It's way easier to know what the other one needs than what you need yourself. There's a little trick for it, which has to do with taking distance. So it's a little less personal. And I am going to talk about this, I think, Friday, the first day of the 3-day challenge. So if you want to know how to get more clarity about that one thing and also to look at it without less emotion, and I will challenge you to actually go work on it, then go be there and register ladylexi.com/courage challenge, and I will see you there. But if you do, then do me a favor as well. Please leave a comment and tell me what you need courage for, because the more input I get, the more I can get into what it is you need. Okay, I'll see you there. ladylexi.com/courage challenge. See you on Friday. If you want to see more when it comes to courage, then go click over there, and you will see more videos related to courage.